Google just held its big I/O event this week, and the headline is very simple. AI is moving from something you chat with to something that does the work for you while you get on with your day. But the centerpiece is a tool they called Gemini Spark, and it runs on its own machine in the background, around the clock, plugged into your email, your documents, your calendar, and all the other good things. And from there on, it's handling tasks on your behalf. There's a new plan at $100 as well to go with it. In the beginning, it sounds like hiring an employee who never sleeps. And here's the part that the keynote skipped over, and I want you to consider. When one of these agents fails, it isn't because the technology is weak. No, the new models are fast and sharp. It fails because the job you handed it was never defined clearly for AI. And that points at a skill that nobody on stage was talking about. But think about it. Handing work to a new starter employee on their first morning, right? If your instructions are vague, a person stops and asks you a question. And an agent unfortunately doesn't, or at least not always. It takes your half-formed instructions and runs with it confidently on schedule. And you wake up to a tidy pile of work that is completely wrong. The people who get the real value from this are the ones who can already write a clear brief. Can you do that? If you can't tell a new hire what good actually looks like, then an agent won't save you either. It'll only scale your confusion and bill you for it at the end of the month. Now, the fix here is relatively simple, but it takes a little bit of time, so stick with me, all right? You need to earn the right to use this. Start like this. Pick one task that you do every week. All right, let's just say it's a status report. Very low-hanging fruit, right? Your inbox triage, maybe, or something that you repeat. Write the brief as if you were training a person, spelling out what goes in and the steps to follow, step by step, right? Neatly, and then exactly what the finished output looks exactly like and what it should be judged on, right? And then run it yourself by hand, maybe in a chat window as a normal request, and then watch where it gets things wrong and what it's doing well, and then fix the brief, all right? Reiterate. Not the tool, okay? The tool is not the problem. And then run it again until it gives you something that you'd be happy to put your name under. Only then do you let it run on schedule by itself. And Google showed you the automation first, but you do it the other way around. That's the smart way, in my opinion, at least. One more thing worth slowing down for, okay? An agent like this needs standing access to your inbox, your files, and maybe passwords, which is a completely different thing from a chatbot that you may be used to, where you paste a question into and you bring your inputs in. Of course, I'm a big proponent of getting closer to the end-to-end workflow with AI, and giving it access is part of it. But before you hand over the keys, decide 3 things, okay? What it's allowed to do on its own, what it has to check with you first, and how you'll review what it produced. Treat it like a junior with the keys to your office and maybe your bank account, okay? Not a faster search box. That's not what it is. These things can be amazingly productive, but they can also cause a lot of trouble. Now, none of this needs a $100 plan to start with. The thinking is free if you can do it, right? And the tool is the easy part, as always. It's about your habits and planning and all these types of things, right? And if you want to work through this properly alongside other professionals and these tools and real workflows, maybe consider joining our community. It's going to be linked at the AI Adopters Club. And also read today's newsletter on this topic, where I also list all the things that Google has come out with, so you don't have to sit through the 2-hour video and see which one of these strike your fancy. With that being said, see you in the next one. Bye-bye.